Have you ever promised yourself that you would change your life? You made a big plan, felt excited for a few days, and then quietly gave up. Maybe you promised yourself, "This year I will get fit," but the gym membership expired without being used. Maybe you bought many books to read, but they are still lying on the shelf collecting dust. If this cycle feels familiar, then today's story might change the way you think about success forever. Because once there was a man who tried to change his entire life in 1 week and failed every single time until he discovered a powerful truth. You don't need to change your life overnight. You just need to improve by 1% every day. In a busy city, in a simple apartment, lived a 32-year-old accountant named Michael Carter. Michael was intelligent and hardworking, but deep inside, he was frustrated with himself. Not because he was lazy, but because every time he tried to improve his life, he failed. Every year on January 1st, Michael would make a long list of goals: exercise every day, wake up at 5 a.m., read 50 pages daily, learn Spanish, meditate every morning. For the first 3 days, he followed everything perfectly. He felt powerful. But by the 4th day, he felt tired. By the 5th day, he skipped one habit. By the 6th day, everything collapsed. Within 2 weeks, he returned to his old routine, and each time it happened, he felt worse than before. His younger sister Sophie Carter often noticed the pattern. One day she asked gently, "Michael, why do you always try to change everything at once? Why not start small?" Michael shook his head. "Small changes don't matter. If I want to change, I have to change everything." But this all-or-nothing mindset was exactly what kept him stuck. One day Michael attended his 10-year university reunion. There he saw many of his classmates. Some had built successful businesses. Some had traveled the world. Michael stood quietly in the corner. Inside his mind he whispered, "I've been trying to change my life for 10 years, but I'm still the same." Then he saw an old classmate named Ryan Brooks. Ryan had once been the laziest student in the class, but now he looked confident, healthy, and full of energy. Michael asked in surprise, "Ryan, what happened to you?" Ryan smiled and said, "I started getting 1% better every day." Michael laughed. 1%? That's nothing." Ryan replied, "That's exactly what I thought too, until someone showed me the math." He handed Michael a business card. "Go meet Coach Laura Bennett. She changed my life." The next day Michael visited Coach Laura's office. She listened carefully to his story. Then she wrote something on the board. 1.01 to the power of 365 equals 37.8. Michael looked confused. Laura explained, "If you improve just 1% every day, by the end of the year you become 37 times better. But if you get 1% worse every day, you almost destroy your potential." Michael suddenly understood something powerful. Success is not one big change. It is hundreds of tiny improvements. Coach Laura gave him a very simple task. "Forget all your goals except one." Michael said, "I want to exercise." "Make it smaller," she said. "I want to run." Smaller. Michael thought for a moment. "I will just put on my running shoes every morning." Laura smiled. "Perfect. For the next week, Michael did only one thing. Every morning, he put on his running shoes. Sometimes he sat on the couch. Sometimes he stood outside. But on day 6, something surprising happened. His legs started moving. He jogged for 2 minutes, just 2. But it was a beginning. Weeks passed. 2 minutes became 5. 5 became 10. 10 became 15. 6 months later, Michael had run 180 days in a row. He also added small habits. Read 10 minutes daily. Learn Spanish for 5 minutes. Write a short journal. Small actions. Done every day. 1 year later, Michael returned to the same reunion hall. This time people asked him, "Michael, what's your secret?" He smiled and said, "I just got 1% better every day." This story teaches 3 powerful lessons. First, small habits create big results. Tiny improvements compound over time. Second, identity is more powerful than motivation. Become the kind of person who does the habit. Third, consistency beats intensity. Doing something small every day is better than doing something big once. If you want to change your life, don't start with a giant goal. Start with one tiny habit, something so small you cannot fail. Because the person who keeps one small promise daily can eventually achieve anything. And remember, you don't need to change your life overnight. You just need to get 1% better than yesterday. Thanks for watching. And if this story resonated with you, consider subscribing for more content like this.